All right. So we are here with Monde Donaldson from the Better Business Bureau. I am Krista. I'm with the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce, and we are doing the Spot a Scam. If you could just tell us what the Better Business Bureau, what it is, what it does.
Sure, I'll be glad to. Thank you so much, Krista, and thank you so much, Aaron, for putting this together for us. We're really excited to have some presence in the Wiregrass area. The Better Business Bureau is an organization that's been around for over 100 years, and we've been in Alabama since 1954. And what we do is promote trust in the marketplace. So we look for businesses who have high business standards, who meet all our checkpoints, like you have to be licensed, you have to be in business for a couple of months.
Right.
Do you have all your city licenses and things like that? And then do you treat your employees fairly and your customers fairly and ethically?
Okay. How many people contact the Better Business Bureau each year?
Well, our service area is from Birmingham South, so we are the Better Business Bureau serving Central and South Alabama. So we get calls from everything just north of Birmingham all the way to Mobile and over to the Wiregrass. And so we have about 1.2 million people that contact just us here in Alabama. So we do have a lot of page views. We have 2.3 million of people are viewing our pages all the time. And we have 7,203 complaints against businesses in Alabama. So we have operators on duty 5 days a week that will take your call. So if somebody had a question about a business, or they said, you don't have my address right, or how do I find a roofer? How do I find a plumber? They can call us and we can tell them.
Okay. Very nice. What should small business owners watch for, and how can they educate their employees?
That is a great question. So I want to talk about small businesses, and I also want to talk about, can I touch on COVID just for a second? We only use those words just for a minute. Mm-hmm. So some of the COVID scams we're seeing are things like face masks, employment scams, contract tracers, people trying to steal people's stimulus checks. So we've seen quite a few different scams come up in the past couple of months that are geared towards businesses and people. But as far as businesses are concerned, when scammers go after your business, they're really going after your reputation. So we want businesses to be totally prepared and have their employees ready. So most of the time the people are getting scammed because they think they can trust the person who is the scammer. You know, about 53% of people that were scammed in businesses, they just trusted the person. And they also, scammers want to create a sense of urgency. They are trying to get people to take action quickly, like buy this from us quickly, or there's a problem, can you help take care of it? You know, those are little red flags. And they try and scare people a lot. Sometimes they ask people to pay them through untraceable money, like gift cards or money orders. Then they'll ask you to meet them in a Walmart parking lot or something just absolutely off the wall. But you would, in a normal business environment, you would never be doing business with somebody passing gift cards or money orders in a parking lot.
Gotcha. Okay. What are the top scams against businesses?
Well, these are very interesting. So most of them are bank and credit card. I'm going to give you the top 5. Bank and credit card, directory listings. I know a lot of people probably come around to the businesses there and maybe say, we're going to have this great directory, and would you like to advertise in this? And you've never heard of the company, and they're not local. So you have to be very wary of things like that. Fake invoices, fake supply list, fake checks, and then tech support is one that consumers have. It happens to consumers all the time. It happens to businesses all the time. Something will pop up on your email and say you have a problem with your computer. Can you pay something right away to get it fixed? Everybody's kind of heard of that one somewhere, even if it wasn't a business scam. and they reached, I'm going to tell you two stories that I can talk about right now. Alabama Power was actually the victim of a scam. A number of restaurants in Montgomery and in Birmingham were called by people saying they were from Alabama Power, and they called during the lunch hour, and they said, if you don't pay your power bill right now, we're going to turn off the power to your restaurant. Well, you know, the general manager may or may not have been there, but somebody's there. They can't have the power going out in the middle of the lunch crowd or the dinner crowd. And they don't even think, well, this has never happened. Alabama Power doesn't call you. They don't give you 1 hour to pay your power bill. And so Alabama Power actually reported that all over the state is that is not really Alabama Power. We are not calling you to try to get your paid bill. Yeah. And then another scam just happened recently down at the beach. I know y'all are a little closer to the Florida beaches, but this has happened down at Gulf Shores. And a person called and said they were with the Orange Beach Police Department. And would they, could she speak to the general manager? Could they speak to the general manager? And they said, well, she's not in right now. And they said, well, we're investigating something. We need to get her right away. Well, she gave her, this employee gave the phone number of the general manager. Then he called back and said, well, he said, give me your cell phone number too, in case I need to get back with you. So anyway, he got the employee's cell phone number, he got the general manager's cell phone number. And then somehow the scammer used the general manager's number and was telling the employee to go get the cash out of the drawer, go buy gift cards, and bring them to somebody in a parking lot. But all along, this employee thought they were talking to the general manager. So you have to be very wary of just kind of quirky things that just don't seem right.
Right. Now, what about people working from home?
Yeah, people working from home, they need to kind of be very aware of their computers, what they're getting on their emails. If they all of a sudden get an email saying, would you like to order reams of paper we have this great supply of cleaning products or Xerox paper or whatever it is, they need to be aware. Don't click on links that you've never seen that seem a little strange. Know who you're dealing with.
Right.
If you get a call or email from from a company that you've been dealing with, and all of a sudden it's a new name, somebody you've never heard of, asking you to pay a bill, give them money, I would suggest you call your supervisor and say, hey, did you authorize this? And then a couple of things like that would be just to still have the checks and balances that you would have in your own office, have them if you were working from home too. You know, what are the normal business procedures you would follow when asking for a repair or ordering something? You just need to use things and deal with people you can trust. And make sure all your computers, all the firewalls are up and they're protected. That is very, very important. Very important.
Now, what do you do if you have been scammed? What do you recommend people do?
If you have been scammed, I would hope that they would also report it to y'all at the Chamber of Commerce. They need to report it to the police. They need to report it to the Better Business Bureau. We have a thing called bbb.org/scam tracker. And you can go on there and report the scam immediately. And you can say, you know, how much you've been scammed for, so that other people, you've got to make people aware that scams are going on. And I think that's another point to make, going back to what we talked earlier. If your employees don't know that there's a Alabama Power scam going on or a tech scam going on, if they're not aware of the scam, so it's really important that people come forward and that people share information. And I know y'all probably had this, certainly it's been in many, many communities where somebody might call and say that they were the minister from a church and they needed some money to help a family, and it's really not that minister. So if that kind of scam's going on, they need to know. Some of the things that you can also do is, you know, just beware. I'm going to give you a couple of tips here that everybody can use, whether you're a business person or just a regular person. I'm sure the police use these kind of scams. And I also want to say that military people are very susceptible to a lot of scams because they move around so much, so they're not familiar with the businesses. And unfortunately, it's very, very sad, but a lot of military families, a lot of the people that are left behind while the loved one's been deployed, they are victims quite a bit of scams. So here's the 5 things I want you to remember.
Okay.
Never share your personal information with anybody. Ever, ever, ever.
Okay.
I got it. That number 1. I got an email yesterday from a friend showing me something that somebody called them and said, we're with Medicare, and if you give us your number, we'll send you 5 masks. Well, of course, Medicare would already have your number. So never share any personal information with anybody. If something sounds too good to be true, if it's a timeshare, if it's a product, if it's even if it's a mailing service, anything like that, anything, just check out that business with the BBB or call the Enterprise Chamber and say, have you ever heard of this company? I mean, we want people to shop local and shop with people they know they can trust. And that is y'all's mission as well. You know, build the community, build a business community with upright, good businesses. Okay, so that's 2. Don't answer the phone if you don't know the number. This is just so easy. If you don't recognize the number, don't answer the phone. If it's something really important, like a doctor's office that you don't have on your contact list, they're going to leave a message.
Right.
And then finally, I mean, like I said, check out the companies with the BBB. We're here all the time. You can go on our website, which is bbb.org. You can file a complaint online. You can, call us. I'm going to give you my number. It's 800-824-5274. So those are the operators' numbers. So 800-824-5274. And we see scams from puppy scams to romance scams to COVID scams, military scams, employment scams, online scams. It's just really, really sad how so many people are taking advantage of, Alabamians and folks all over the country who are really suffering, but they don't care. They are just out for it. And so we can tell you if the call's coming from Taiwan that you haven't won the Publishers Clearinghouse. We are a great resource, and we just have tons of material for anything you'd like to know about any business, any agency. If you'll just call us at 800-824-5274.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us all this information. Is there anything you'd like to touch base on that you feel like I didn't touch base on or that I didn't ask?
I will say that most scammers, they contact you by phone first. That's 57% of the scams are done by the telephone. Okay. 24% in person, and then another 24% by text, email. So just, don't click on links, know who you're dealing with, deal with the people that you know and that you can trust. And if you have any question at all, please contact the Better Business Bureau serving Central and South Alabama.
All right. Thank you so much, Monde. If anybody has any questions, they can just put it in the comments right here. I'll leave y'all a minute and let you go ahead and put something in the comments. And we'll also be posting this to our Facebook page. We had some technical issues getting it on live for Facebook. So we're just going to post it to our Facebook page and keep an eye out for any questions. Be sure to tag the Better Business Bureau if you have any questions for them, or tag us so that way we can answer your questions. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Have a great day.